So this was a question a lot of you guys asked me, was culture shocks. The difference between modeling in the US and South Africa. What would be your life to your 18-year-old self? Do you miss USA? Would you move to South Africa permanently? Baby subby. Hi baby subbies, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to my channel. You already know it's about to go. Okay, y'all have literally been commenting on all my videos. Y'all been sliding in my DMs. Y'all been, I don't know, y'all just been asking a lot of questions about my life recently. So I thought I'd just do an updated Q&A. I posted a thing on my Instagram. I was like, ask me some questions. I'm gonna do an updated Q&A. Y'all literally asked me over 100 questions and I don't know what I was expecting, but I definitely wasn't expecting to get asked over 100 questions. So I'm gonna try to do as many as possible. I'm definitely not gonna get through 100, but I tried to narrow it down and pick the ones that were asked the most, or the ones that I think would make more sense in a Q&A or like an update about my life. So to break this up, I'm gonna split this into 3 parts. So the first part is just gonna be like an about me, my current life update, X, Y, and Z. The second part is gonna be the question you guys asked me about modeling. And then the third part is gonna be the questions y'all asked me about South Africa. So get ready. Hope you guys watch the whole thing, but if not, I'll put like the little time chapter thing so you could just click on the section you really wanna see. So, can y'all see that empty hair bottle on the side of my bed? That's what borrows. Oh my god, I got stuff all in the background. Just pretend like this background doesn't exist. So, currently living in Cape Town, South Africa. I've been here for about 3 months. How long am I gonna stay here? A lot of you guys wanted to know that. I have no idea. Honestly, I was supposed to leave a couple days ago, but I extended my stay to the end of January just because life's been great out here for me. And I have like a couple year visa, so I could stay here for some time. How old are you? 24. My height, I'm 5'10" or 178, I think, in meters. Ethnicity, so my dad is black and my mom is white. Yeah. What state am I from? So I was born in Texas, and that's where I spent the first like 18 years of my life. And then I moved to California to go to college, aka university. That's where I went to school for 4 years in LA. And then I lived in New York for 6 months before I came out here. So I lived in Texas, California, and New York, and now I'm in South Africa. Are you still single? For life, baby. Where is your dad? You know, a lot of y'all asked about my dad. My dad's alive, all right? He had to go back to the US for work or whatever, you know, he's like old and stuff, but he'll be back. He's like, I can't be away from my country for too long. I'm like, all right then, well, I'll be here. So whenever you want to come back, let me know. So he's gonna come back eventually. Do you miss USA? You know, I miss my friends. I miss New York. I feel like I didn't live there long enough. I was only there for 6 months. If you guys want to see my New York journey, I literally vlogged almost every single week while I was in New York. So that's all on my channel. You can go find that. But I miss my friends. I miss my family, you know what I'm saying? It's okay because we got FaceTime here that works 5% of the time, so I can talk to them every now and then. Like, I'm not ready to go back yet, and also I want to travel more, so it's like I've traveled a lot. Traveling is like my #1 thing in life. I've been to like 19 countries at this point. I just like traveling, so I don't miss it. Specifically the US, I miss my people. Favorite movie, anything Marvel. I gotta go see the new Spider-Man. I'm excited for that. Next travel location. So the thing about me is when I go places, I don't like to just go for a couple days or a week. I like to fully get into the whole experience. I studied abroad in Italy for a year, China for 3 months, and then I stayed in Uganda for a month. So wherever I go, the plan is to stay there for at least a month or like a couple months, just so I can fully like make some friends, get the full experience, try the food, and just live my best life. So I'm working on a couple different places right now. I have a goal of places I want to get to for modeling, but you gotta subscribe and follow the journey if you want to come with me. I can't just tell you like that. I'm just not gonna tell you like that. Someone asked, when do I come back to New York? I have no idea, honestly. I want to move back to New York just because I feel like I didn't spend enough time there, but honestly I have no idea when that date's gonna be. Hopefully next year, but also I want to travel, but hopefully next year. What's your favorite sport to watch? Honestly, unless I know someone that's playing, there's a 100% chance I'm not watching a sport. I just don't like watching people I don't know. It's fun if it's someone I know where I can be like, yeah, let's go, go team, go. If it's just like me just chilling watching a sport, it's probably not gonna happen. Someone said, can I have your number? 1. Someone said, what would be your life to your 18-year-old self? It's a good question. 18-year-old me really probably needed some life advice. This is what I would say. This is what I say to all the 18-year-old girls out there. Girl. Listen to me. You ready? Embrace the moment, okay? The journey, the process, because you're not gonna guess the things that are coming up in your life in the next, 7 years? Listen, you're not gonna know what you're gonna learn about yourself in the next 7 years, so don't try to guess. Just enjoy. Do what makes you happy, be free like a little butterfly and live your best life. Got it. You got it, girl. You got it, girl. You got it. And whatever you do, don't let anyone change you. Do what makes you happy and be you. Plans for the next year. I'm gonna go back to California when I'm done here. I don't know when that's gonna be, but I'm gonna go straight back to California for a little bit, try to figure out my next move, hopefully go somewhere else because that's the plan. But honestly, I have no like set plans. I really just want to travel. I want to meet more people. I want to build more acting, more modeling, more life. I can't tell you because I want to do whatever makes me happy in the moment. So whatever makes me happy in the moment next year, that's what I want to do. All right, now we're gonna go to the next section. Hopefully I answered some of your questions. I don't really know. I feel like honestly at this point it's just jibber jabber. So I actually have an older video. It's one of my first videos, which, you know, honestly, my first couple of videos, I tried to watch one the other day. It was gross. But anyways, I kind of explained my modeling journey in one of my older videos. You can go find it. But long story short, I started modeling when I was 14. I stopped to go to college, and then I got signed again after I graduated school, and it's been 2 years since I graduated. So yeah, it's been on and off for like 10 years now. So a lot of people ask me the difference between modeling in the US and South Africa. The way modeling works, you book jobs based off of how good your portfolio is, like the connections you have, the photographers you know. It's basically how good your book is, how good your people, your agents, like the team you work with, how good they are, the connections they have. It's like a lot. There's a lot of things that go into modeling in different cities. So for me, in my experience specifically, this is probably the first time ever in my 10 years of modeling where I can finally say, like, booked 20, like a lot. Like I'm working like 3 or 4 times a week on a good week. Other times it's just once, twice a week. But for the most part, it's at least once a week at this point, at least here in Cape Town. But this is the first time ever it's been like this. When I was in LA, when I was in New York, I booked big jobs, but I never had been consistent like I am now. It took a lot to get to this point. So the difference basically depends on the model. Everyone's different. Everyone's look, size, shape, personality, height, team, every single look, like all of it's a lot that goes into it, and all of it's different for everybody. Some people will work well in LA, and some people won't book anything all in LA. So for me in LA, I had just graduated college and I got signed to a big agency in Los Angeles, but my book wasn't at a big agency level. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like I was competing with top models, and I was not a top model. So I wasn't working at all. I literally was booking nothing. And I could say that's an excuse. My portfolio was good enough, wasn't good enough, but who knows? Maybe just no one wanted to book me. I honestly have no idea. And you really like never really know until you try a whole bunch of different markets out. So I tried LA, I booked 2 jobs. I worked with Skims, and then I worked with Samsung, and then COVID happened, and that was it. And then I decided I was gonna move to New York because I was like, oh, let me test the waters in New York, see how it goes. And then I booked 1 job in New York in my 6 months with my agency. But this whole time, for the whole like 2 years that I was with them, I was doing a lot of test shoots. I was doing a lot of free work just to try to build my portfolio. Eventually I was just like, you know what, maybe it's not gonna work for me at this big agency. So I was just like, I'm just gonna leave. So I left, and I started working with 2 new ladies, Peggy and Elisa, who have literally been the most amazing people ever. And they know that my main thing was I wanted to travel. So they were like, we have an agency in Cape Town that's interested in you, but you have to go next month. I was like, all right, YOLO, why not? Yeah, that's how I ended up here. I literally made the decision in like 3 days whether or not I was gonna come to Cape Town. And it just made sense because my lease was up in New York, so I was gonna have to find a new lease anyways. So I was just like, I might as well move to South Africa. What else am I doing? Literally nothing. And it was honestly the best decision I've ever made. This is the most I've ever worked in my life. My subscriber count just like quadrupled since I've been here. I just did a huge campaign here in South Africa that's gonna be literally all over the country, so I'll tell you guys about that more whenever it comes out. So for me, comparing the USA to South Africa has definitely been where it's at for me, just at least right now in my career. Hopefully one day I'll be popping in the US too in terms of modeling and be able to work like I've been working here, or even in Europe or elsewhere. But for me, I had to start here, and then I don't know, we'll see where we end up. It's literally, I have no idea what's next. You just gotta subscribe and follow, and I'll keep you guys updated as time goes on. What made you to decide to become a model? So I don't know if I've actually ever shared how I got my first modeling thing. So whenever I was 14 years old, I have an older sister, her name's Jordan. So she went into a modeling agency in Dallas, where we're both from, and I went with her. And at the time for modeling, they were very strict about your height, your size, X, Y, and Z. And my sister is a little bit shorter, so I'm like 5 inches taller than her. So when she went in, they were like, we like you, but you're kind of short, so it's tough. She was like, well, I have a sister that looks exactly like me, but she's tall. And she's in the waiting room. So then that's kind of how I got signed. And she did model for a little, but she didn't really like it. But she was on the cover of National Geographic. I'll put a picture right here, which is actually pretty cool. So yeah, she's kind of the reason I started. But the reason I stayed in modeling even after all those years was because I just liked it. Like, I enjoyed being on set. I liked the idea of potentially getting to a point where I could travel for jobs and just be on set all the time and just meet new people and just experience new things. So the idea of that is kind of what kept me in it. But there was times when I was younger, so I've always been kind of an in-between model. I've never been super skinny, or I've never been super thick, so I've never been able to be placed in high fashion or plus size curve modeling, whatever. I've always just been right in the middle. So there were times where I was like, I don't really know if I want to be in it, if that's how they're looking at the people who are my size. But I just like being on set, and I don't know, I just liked it. So I told myself I was gonna try just being me, doing me, living my best life. If I can get there being OG me, then that's what we're gonna do. If I can't, then I'm gonna find something else to do. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. A lot of y'all keep asking me questions about South Africa, my time here, my culture shocks, my experiences. So now I'm gonna answer all those questions. So first question, do you really like South Africa, or are you just pretending? You know, I actually hate it here. No, I'm just kidding. Listen, I have had nothing but the best time in South Africa. And like every other country in the world, like the US, they have its pros and they have its cons. But my experience here has literally just been amazing. And there are gonna be some experiences I never forget just because the people I've met here, like the foods I've tried here, everything about like the work I've done, it's just been a lot. Like it has gone way better than I could have ever imagined. I came down here with zero expectations, you know, because I wasn't working in New York. So coming down here, I was like, oh, the worst that'll happen is I won't work. I'll at least make some new friends and I'll experience a new country. So it has been way past and like beyond all of my expectations. So it has been absolutely amazing. And it's crazy how a decision I made to move all the way across the country in 3 days really is just, it's really just pushing my life forward, you know what I'm saying? And I have so many South African subbies now. Y'all literally give me the best recommendations. It's honestly amazing. I could literally say comment down your favorite food spot in X, Y, and Z, and y'all could give it to me. Like right now, I'm about to say comment down your favorite food spot in Johannesburg because let me know. But yeah, it's just been amazing. The support here has been great. I hope you guys continue to support me even when I leave here. I don't know where I'm going next, but we've got plans to go other places. So I hope you guys just follow the journey because we got stuff to do. And I want my baby subbies with me on the way, you know, see? So this was a question a lot of you guys asked me, was culture shocks. I didn't know if I want to talk about this just because I didn't know how to properly word everything I wanted to say, but you'll see what I'm talking about in a second. So the first one I'm going to say is load shedding. It shocked me, but it didn't shock me. So before I came out here, I did some research about the country. So I learned a little bit about load shedding, and then I learned some about the second thing I'm going to talk about. So I knew it was there, but I think being in it and experiencing is just different. So honestly, I feel like the load shedding wasn't even that big of an issue. I feel like I adjusted to that pretty quickly. We just had a 15-hour power outage. That was like a lot. But the typical load shedding, you know when it's gonna happen, so I can kind of plan my days around it. The only time it sucks is when you're out eating with friends and then the whole power just shuts off. That's the only time where it's questionable. But other than that, I was like, I'm fine. Like I'll survive without power for 2 hours every X, Y, and Z. Like it's okay. But the second thing that shocked me, I'm gonna try to explain this the best way possible. So the main thing that shocked me about being here in South Africa, and even talking to my friends in the US, they didn't know this about South Africa, was the use of the word colored to describe a race. So some of you might already know this about US history. So growing up in the USA and with American history ingrained literally in everything that I've done, the term colored has a really negative connotation to it in the US because it was used during our segregation and our Jim Crow, especially in the southern states. And I'm from Texas, which is considered a southern state. So growing up, it was always just engraved in my history. If anyone were to have called me colored, it was normally either out of ignorance or it was honestly out of malice. Like it's never been okay for someone to just casually call me colored. So before I came out here, I did some research about South Africa. So I knew that load shedding was a thing, and I knew that the mixed race here in South Africa was considered colored. So if you're any type of mixture here in South Africa, then if you select a box, then it's gonna say colored. But I also knew that the term colored didn't have that negativity behind it here in South Africa. I knew it was kind of just like me saying I'm black in the US, like, oh, I'm colored here in South Africa, or I'm black in the US. Like I knew it wasn't a bad thing out here. So for some reason, getting here and being here and people asking me if I was colored, it was like a lot for me to take in at first. It just hit in a way that I wasn't expecting to hit because I had learned about it before I got out here. So I was already mentally preparing myself for it, but to hear it, it just, I don't know. It has just always been a negative thing. So coming here where it's just like a thing and it doesn't have that negativity behind it, it was something that I really had to adjust to, especially me being mixed race. My dad's black, my mom's white. So me just walking down the street, if I don't open my mouth, then people automatically assume I'm South African. And then I'm colored, I'm here in South African. So, and in the US, the way our history works, it doesn't matter what mixture you are. If you have any percentage of black, like you could have 1%, then the census would consider you black or African American. And it wasn't even until 2000 where we had 2 or more races or multiracial as an option on our US census. So then coming here and people not knowing that I'm not from here at first and saying, oh, are you colored? You're not black, you're colored. That was something that I had to adjust to at first because I know it's not bad and I know the intention here doesn't have the same intent as it would in the US. It's just a different adjustment. That's probably the biggest culture shock I've had out here. And now that I've been here for 3 months, like, I mean, it is what it is. It's fine. I know it's not bad out here. It's just, it's a race. It's a thing. I just had to get used to it being a thing at first. And I really thought I was going to be fine with it. But it was just, it was like a lot, you know what I'm saying? So I really hope that makes sense. I debated for a while whether or not I wanted to share that or talk about that, but you guys genuinely want to know what my culture shocks have been out here, and that has honestly been a #1. And even for my other friends out here and my people back in the US, whenever I've told them about it, it's been like a whoa moment for all of us. So yeah, either way, I hope that made sense. If you're in the US, you didn't know, now you know. If you're in South Africa, and you didn't know this about the US, now you know. But yeah, that was probably the biggest culture shock I've had being here. All right, next question. Would you move to South Africa permanently? I wouldn't move here permanently just because my family's in the US. That's kind of where everyone's at. And also, I don't know if I would move anywhere permanently just because I'm very much nomad. I like to travel, I like to live different places, and I like to try new things, and I like to meet new people. So I couldn't even tell you a city in the US that I would live permanently. But I would come back again for an extended stay like this, and also I feel like I'll be back often as long as I have my friends here, just because I like to visit my friends wherever they're at in the world. So I probably will be back a lot. What do you enjoy most about the country? My friends that I've made out here, the food, the views, the experiencing and trying new foods, the trying new things. I like traveling because it gives me a sense of adventure. So me being here, I get to do things that I've never done before. So it's just been amazing, especially the food. The food has been so good. Oh my God, this city is literally a foodie stream. I'm like obsessed with everything here. Someone asked if I get mistaken as South African. So there have been times where people have told me if I never opened my mouth, they definitely would have thought I was South African. And then there's also been times where people have said they knew I wasn't from here before I even opened my mouth. I'm like, how you know? How you know that? You don't know that. You don't know. Are you spending the holidays in South Africa? Yes, I am. Subscribe to my channel to see what I'm doing. Can you speak at least one word of Afrikaans? Yeah, you know, Cape Town is real lekker. Lekker, you know what I'm saying? That's the only word I got for you guys. All right, last question. Favorite South African snack? Biltong, especially that one with the chili flake flavor on it. Chili flakes, chili flavor, everything all of the above. You know, that stuff just calls my name when I'm at the grocery store. When I see that chili biltong, I'm like, queen, come through, come to me, baby subby. All right, guys. Hopefully I answered majority of your questions. And then if you got more questions, comment down below, let me know. Maybe I'll do a part 2 one day in my life. Not now, because it's like a lot of work talking to the camera sitting here. I can't breathe. I need food, water, drink. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for supporting me, especially all my new baby subbies. I love you guys so much. Hope you guys continue to follow the journey because we've got a long way to go. Don't know where we're going. Stay tuned. Subscribe to my channel. Oh my God, there's a spider. There's a spider crawling on the wall outside. It's scary. I think it's big. Subscribe and then watch another video over here. And then I'll see you guys in the next vlog because I'm gonna try to start posting like rapid fire, you know? I'm gonna try to get as many vlogs out as I can until I burn out and then take a month break, but whatever, we'll come across everything together. All right, bye.